power. This is what the outward display of his power. This is what it does. Look at example. Look at what he did to God's people. And this is what he's going to do to you. Look at Psalm 44, for instance. Look at Psalm 44. Psalm 44, I'm reading verse 1, 2, and then I'm doing that 2, 3. Oh my God. To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, mischief, we have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old, how thou drive out the hidden with thy hand and planted them, how thou did afflict the people and cast them out. See, the hand of God can drive out the hidden out of the land. Oh, you are not hearing me. You are not hearing me. If you are hearing me, I'm going to hear the shout. He said, how that did drive out the hidden with thy hand and planted them. You see, don't you know that God can plant you in his inheritance as tree in such a way that it will be unmovable? Today you are in, tomorrow you are out. It means you are not planted yet. The hand of God drives out the hidden. It drives out the enemies. The hands of God also plant his people. I want to hear your amen. Look at verse 3 now. He said, for they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them. He said, but by thy right hand, thy arm, the light of thy countenance, because thou hast a favor unto them. You see, are you still seeing the connection of light and hand? Habakkuk is telling you that there's the light of his presence that resort to horn, that resort to outward display of his power. And you see, David is telling us by revelation, it was not there, but by revelation, you say that there's something they have heard. There's something that when Elohim began to go with his people, he said there was a light of his countenance that released the outward display from his hand to drive out the hidden, to plant the people. Do you understand that? He said actually when they were going, they fought, right? They fought Sihon the Amorite, they fought Og, they fought the 7 nations. But you see, whenever an Israelite, when he throw a bow or sling a sword, it was the hand of God. So he brings, oh my God, you will understand that when Israel, when they fought to display those 7 nations, you know, Og, king of Bashan, it is God that said that rise up, I've given you Og, king of Bashan, I've given you him and his land, begin to contend with him in battle. You say, but they fought, they used sword, they used knife. But what David is saying is that, you know that the presence went with us, a pillar of cloud by day, a pillar of fire by night. And so by the time somebody sling a bow, right, it is the hand of God that will take that one bow. Sometimes that one bow will bring 7 dice. Do you understand that? If an Israelite sling a sword, do you understand that? Because it's not doing it naturally, it's doing it by the presence of light, by the presence of God. That sword, whether by mistake or what, if you bring down many. Is it not surprising to you? You see that they go for a battle, they'll come back and count, and then the camp officer they'll say, and then the other camp you are saying 1,000. Say, but is it not just soldier to soldier? What's happening? Now know that there's something that's called the presence of God. Do you understand that? There's something that's called the hand of God. You see, what that hand is waiting for, it is you by faith. Oh, you're not hearing me. When you do that thing and you go for a battle, do you just stay like that for the thing to work? You must, if it's asked, you must lift, Abby. When you lift, that lifting, that's the hand of faith. When you lift, then the demon, do you understand that? We now walk with it. We now use it to war. That is why I say that you are my battle ass. Oh my God. Somebody's not hearing me. Are you co-signing it now? So what on in this season is just the hand of faith, right? When you straight for the hand of faith to push, you're going to see that the hand of God has gone out. So he's saying that the land inheritance he gave them is not really because of their bow or their sword, it's because of the light of his countenance and his outstretched hand. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? When we took that big washing machine yesterday, and then we brought it, I began to have a second thought. I said that this is a sign for all of us. Everything that the enemy has been withholding from you is released. Are you hearing me? See, I speak from international government, international community, and then FG, and then state government. I say anything I've been holding that belongs to you, it has been released to you. Down to the individuals, it's released to you. I feel the presence of Yahweh in this place. Are you hearing me, somebody? It's released to you. And you see, another thing I began to talk with her. I said that now, to some people, God will give you money to build house, right? But see, to some, that may not be necessary. You will get in a possession. You will get in a possession. It's going to be by the outstretched arm of the Lord, because the Lord himself will stretch it and give it to you. Not because he has favored you, because he has favor on you. And I began to see that is what Nehemiah used. That's what Israel, that's what all of them they worked with. He could write to the king, right, and the queen and the governors that were in charge of the forestry, and all of them they had to supply, they had to give. Now, because what Nehemiah says, because the good hand of the Lord is upon me. Remove your mind from works. There's a place for works, but it's limited. When we come to this, there is no way that the land of inheritance that already had 7 nations occupying, there's no way for those 7 nations to would have been driven out just only with bow and arrows and sword. And so he said that why it happened like that is the outstretched hand of God that drove the 7 nations out and that planted them. They got not the land in possession by their own sword. But he said that, but by the right hand and thy arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast favored them. Somebody straight forth your hand in the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes, you are going to enter into some gifting. You enter into some gifts. You enter into some grace. Not by works, but by the outstretched hand of God and by the light of his countenance. They look unto him and they were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. Please, I want you to talk to God. You will enter into landed properties, into investment, into money, not by your sword, but it's going to be by the light of his countenance and by his outstretched hand. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Set your heart and pray and receive something. Receive something. There's a inheritance that's made for you. Over my life. over my inheritance, over your church, God,